Does it run better?
1,000 times better.
So I'm headed down to help Paul with his new motor for the FJ. Finally made it here at Paul's shop. It's about midnight. Just kind of snuck in the shop here to see what he's got going on. Hopefully he doesn't show up with his in his skivvies with his 12 gauge. So I'll be quiet and see what happens. The poor old 5.3's out. That was his project for today. Ooh. There it is. There's the 408 and all of its green goodness. Just wait for a pair of cylinder heads. Cool. There's the empty hole. And all the other parts ready to go on. So got his head bolts, rockers are all cleaned up, there's the pedestals. Look folks, he does own a torque wrench, and a nice one too. Got all the gaskets, everything. So yeah. Ooh. That's kind of cool right there. Okay, time for me to go to bed. Oh, I'm going to take these heads in, set them on the bench for Paul to find in the morning. He'll be super excited.
I rolled into the shop this morning. There's a motorhome parked in my driveway and trick flow heads sitting on my table right here. So that means one thing, Chad's here.
Okay, it's morning and we've already ran into our first snag. Paul grabbed these heads to want to put them on first thing, and he's got the wrong head bolts. This block, turns out, is a earlier block, so it takes the early long style head bolts, and he got the 04 and later short head bolts. So he's on his way to Cedar to find some the correct head bolts for it. In the meantime, I'm going to get the harness laid out for the new intake. Have the harness all ready to go in. I've got the vacuum hose ran for the map sensor. Everything's all pretty well set up to push through the firewall. We got the hole cut in the firewall for our grommet here. So it's time to get this bad boy together, see if we can make it run. Okay, got this harness most of the way in. Just got to make my last 2 connections here. Here's my mess from King of Hammers that I probably ought to straighten out, but I don't know that I ever will. Fuel's hooked up, wires are ran into the inside, so 2 more connections and power up the computer and see what I messed up. So, okay, got everything back together. Had to pull the harness all the way back out. I messed up, and when I rewired the fuel pump wire to run off of this fuse box, I pulled the power away from the injectors and the coils, so I had to pull the harness back out, run another wire, put it all back in, reroute it, ready to plug the computer in, hook the laptop up to it, and see what we get. Okay, hopefully last fuel leak.
I think that got it.
I got it. Cool.
Put some serious fuel out pretty quick.
Yeah. Well,
255 pump doesn't number.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's holding pressure, so that's a good sign. Actually, we got to do one more thing real quick. We'll have to do I think we got to go through a TPS
Oh yeah.
reset. Have to do that with the wizard to set everything up for the
Yep.
TPS. So, okay, I think
that,
we can do
then
that. We can see if it'll fire, and if it fires up okay. It's probably not going to run real good because I don't have the right injectors.
Exactly.
But it should run okay for a minute, and then while you're putting radiator and stuff in, I can go through all the injector stuff. I didn't get the camera going soon enough, but it fired right up like it started this morning. So runs good. We're just gonna let it run for a second. The tune's a mile off. I don't have the right injector settings in it, but want to make sure it sounds good. Okay. Sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. The idle will clean up when we get the right injector setting. It might have just a little bit of a lope to it, but as soon as you put it in gear, it'll go away.
Yep.
I like it.
I like it too. That's gonna be good. That stupid belt's making noise though.
Yeah, it is. I noticed that.
That idler that's broke on the back.
Oh, it's probably what's.
It is. I can see it jumping. That's the problem.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. Well, we think.
It runs. I'm happy. Things are good.
That's a good sign.
Yep.
What happened to peanuts?
Well, you didn't take them, so I gave them.
Okay. Well, so I was trying to update the injector numbers in the computer. Holly wouldn't let me do anything until I updated the firmware on the controller. So it locked it. It's a brick. So I'll take it home with me. Call Holly on Monday since it's Saturday night. See what I can do with it, and ship it back down to Paul. Hopefully I can get it all done and set up, so all he has to do is plug it in and go do burnout. So, well, since I bricked the computer on the FJ, we figured we'd work on Landon's truck here and see if we can make it run. So
It's better.
it's getting there. We've changed some settings. Didn't have any acceleration fuel at all, so tip it in, or barely tip in on throttle, and it would die and fall on its face. But yeah, we got putting some spark plugs in it now and see what we get. See if we can get Landon into trouble again. So
Those headers are hot.
still,
Yep, still.
wow,
All right.
almost done. You're on the
This
last
side,
plug.
this side was actually firing.
Oh, good.
It was running on 2 on the other side.
Yeah. So we had that one that wasn't very happy, and then this one.
Right here.
Is that the? Yeah, that was the really one. and it's
Broke.
It's broke, or it's actually didn't get the shell crimped on very well, so it was misfiring quite often. You see it's all wet, so yeah, I think a decent set of NGKs will make a world of difference on this. So get the old Derby motor up and going some more.
Yeah, get some use out of it.
Okay, give that a shot. Landon, go drive it. See if he can see what it's gonna do. Sounds a lot better and has a lot better throttle response.
Yep.
Yep. Still smokes like a freight train, but
Yeah, there's no valve still finished.
no tail lights, so
No tail lights.
wow, that's handy.
That is nice. We're gonna have to fix that evidently.
Yep.
One headlight,
No tail lights.
no tail lights.
You told me that.
Yeah, you should fix that.
Especially if you're gonna go doing burnouts and
Yeah.
stuff.
Does it run better?
1,000 times better.
It sounded like
it doesn't just go boo in like third gear
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Yep. Yeah, it
Good
sounds
deal.
a lot happier. So yeah, you probably want to get those lights fixed. If
Yeah, you're
you're
gonna
gonna
pull it
go.
over.
You're gonna get in big trouble.
All right.
Nice.
Well, thank you, Chad.
You're welcome. Glad I
That's
could
a-
do some good.
Yeah, that's fixed anyway.
Goodbye, Pepper.
All right, stayed up late last night. Got this software all figured out on this computer. Spent a couple hours on hold with Holly, trying to figure out what it takes to unbrick the computer. They recommend that you don't update the firmware on these through a laptop. They recommend you update it through the little handheld. A lot fewer problems that way. So anybody decides they want to do this themselves, then just a little tip there. But if you do brick one like I did, you can recover it with the handheld. So anyway, got the injectors all programmed, got the spark map set up, got the knock sensors set up in it, so it should have a really good bass tune to make the FJ work perfectly. So we'll probably be meeting up with him over Easter, so if there's any issues I can straighten that around for him. So but it's time to get this in the mail. He's pretty antsy to have it back so he can go try out the 408. So he received it yesterday, Friday, and the thing wouldn't hardly even run. So don't know what's going on with it. Just gonna head down to him, so see if I can figure it out. So make a little bit of a long day, but it needs to run. Okay, made it about just before 10 o'clock. Nice long drive, but here we are. Looks like Paul and the boys are already out here. Morning.
Good morning.
How the heck are you today?
Not too bad today.
Oh, that's good.
It runs,
It
but
runs.
it doesn't run right.
And the oil under it doesn't make a guy feel all that warm and fuzzy either.
It's actually leaking less today than it was yesterday, but maybe it ain't hot yet either, so. It was leaking like crazy yesterday.
Yuck.
Stupid.
Yep, typical project.
High quality parts you can get nowadays.
Yep. Okay, got the FJ running. It was just a combination of a whole bunch of settings in the computer that it just wasn't happy with, so went back through and tweaked everything, and we had a burned spark plug wire that may or may not have been contributing to it, so we fixed that while we're at it, and it seems happy. So okay, just got back from a test drive. Runs good, more or less. The one problem we're having is when it gets really hot, it wants to stall after when you thump the throttle really quick. So we'll play with a little bit more down in Moab and get that little problem squared away. So it's time for me to head home, see if I can get home in time to take my wife out to dinner. So thanks for watching.